What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome. My hair is like wanting to do a bunch of stuff right now. What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to another review. And today we are going to be reviewing the Matrix. Sorry, I need to because the blur in my glasses. Today we're going to be reviewing the Matrix Reloaded. Very, very much of a film I was not expecting. A very different film from the first one, which isn't necessarily a good thing. Like, it still feels like The Matrix and everything, but this movie is what I was expecting the first one to be. This is what I was expecting the first one to be. Not really my thing, and just didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. But I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. I want to get into the negatives before I get into any of the positives. Actually, I know I normally get into the positives instead of the negatives. The first things first, the action scenes are worse in this movie. The CG is worse in this movie. Which I don't know why that is. It came out in 2003, so I don't know. It's worse, but not bad. Yeah, I guess that's the best way I can think of it. It's better. I mean, it's not bad, but it's a worse movie. The action, and definitely some of the CG and special effects, look worse. And the action scenes aren't as entertaining. The action scenes I do enjoy in this movie. Like, I'm having fun with them still, but not as much as I did as the first one. Definitely not having as much fun with those scenes as I did in the first one. This one is just like, what are we going for? Like why are we still going? Like, I was like literally an hour into the movie, I was still not feeling it. Like, I'm like only the story is kind of complicated to follow. So what you think is like, obviously there's the main overall thing is destroying the Matrix and stuff, but also like it goes into stuff about like these robots trying to, in the real world, trying to come and destroy like the only existing bit of humanity that's left, and a lot of it I just can't remember, and I literally just got done watching it. Like, there's stuff I just cannot remember, just how forgettable some of the story is. Now let's get to some of the good. Obviously, having Keanu Reeves, Neo, and Trinity come back, and Morpheus being back, all three of them being back is good. One thing this movie really does bother me with, it pulls a dumb twist out of nowhere at the end. I'm like, really? And just, I saw myself looking, because I watched this on HBO Max again. I caught myself looking at other things on my computer while I was watching the movie. Like, I was like, because like some parts are just boring. Like, one of the fight scenes specifically, the one when they're like, with the moving cars. Like, you think that could be it, but something about it just doesn't feel interesting to me. It just feels off, and just is a worse movie for it. But I don't think this movie is bad. Yes, I do think it is worse. In the long run, I do think it is a worse movie than the first one, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad film. I don't think this is a bad movie. And lo and behold, there's still some good. The action scenes, even though they're not better, they're still enjoyable. One thing I want to bring up real quick before we continue. The Rotten Tomatoes score for the first one, I should have said this in that review because it was in front of my computer when I reviewed it. Has an 88 critic score and a 85 audience score. Pretty much expected. But when it comes to this movie, Reloaded, 73 critics and 72 audience, which is, I guess, isn't that a pretty on there with it. Critics and audiences kind of agree that this movie is just not as good. And I will agree with that. It's not as good as a movie as the first one. It's weaker, I think. But I think it is still a decent action flick. I think you'll have fun with it if you like the first one. Because I did enjoy some things. I do think it's a weaker movie, but I don't think the movie's bad. It definitely has some more moments where I'm bored. Characters I'm not really interested in get brought in, and I'm just like at least the first movie. That's something the first movie had is like the interesting characters like Trinity and all them, and yeah, they're back, but like the newsletters they try to add, they're like you don't really care for them, and they do some interesting stuff with like Agent Smith and stuff like that. There's some interesting stuff with him, reason to have him be back and everything. It's very interesting, but also it just feels strange. Like this whole movie just feels strange, and I don't know. And the fact that it's literally set up to be a cliffhanger, like at least with the first one, like obviously you could tell there's more they're gonna do with it, but it's not a cliffhanger. Like you can pop on the first Matrix and just watch it by itself, even though yes there is more story to be told. You can still enjoy it and watch it on its own. This one, like stuff like that, because I feel like with sequels, there are sequels in the franchise you can just put on and watch them by themselves. This isn't one of them. If you're gonna watch this one, you've got to watch the first one too. Which I don't know if that really hurts the film or not, because like a lot of people would like. One example I can think of, Endgame. I can sit and watch Endgame again without watching Infinity War. Spider-Man, Homecoming. Spider-Man Far From Home. I can watch without watching Homecoming or any of the other MCU films. Again. But I feel like if you're just going to pop this on to watch it again, you got to watch both. It's weak. It's weak. I think the movie is weak. It is a weak film compared to its predecessor, which is going to give me, it's gonna hurt the rating of this movie, which I'm gonna have to give it a 2.5 out of 5. I don't think it's bad at all. Like I just think like it's not as interesting. It's not as there's some nice fight choreography and everything, but that's it. Like there's nothing there's no wow factor. There's there's nothing new brought to the table. Like there's nothing that like I'm like, oh, I didn't see that in the last movie, or there is some new stuff brought up, but like it's stuff you forget. Like you like, okay, that didn't really do much for the plot, and you're still like, okay, so what's our end goal here? And apparently though we're not gonna know our end goal until freaking, because like the movie feels like it's supposed to end at one point, and it's like, okay, but there's still like a little bit of time left, okay, but I don't know, man. It's just odd to me. I don't think the movie's bad. I think it's just like it's fine. Like if this is your favorite Matrix movie, I can understand with some of the action and some of the but the fact the effects are worse than 1999. I don't know if the movie had a smaller budget or anything like that, but it is worse. It is worse. I do think so. Honestly, the main saving grace is Keanu Reeves and the actress that plays Trinity. I don't know her name, but having them both back obviously it helps the movie, having these two characters, and it definitely there's a relationship there, and there's kind of a bit of a love story in here as well when it comes to that, and it kind of feels like that's supposed to be what you're going for. That's kind of what really holds you in with the movie, is their relationship for me. Because that's handled pretty decently. I did notice there was one scene of inconsistency with some of the makeup and stuff, but that's just I guess that must be a nitpick, but that's what do you guys think of The Matrix Reloaded? Me personally, I can do without it. I've heard I've heard this next one is even worse, so that's concerning. So I hope you guys, though, did enjoy this review, and oh my gosh, this just... let's just hope it's better. I hope this isn't bad. I'm making it seem like this movie is awful. It's not awful, but I'm hoping the next one's better. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!